Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and this is take number 3. I cannot get I that's how all these attempts have been going. So this time I'm going to try to just describe stuff as if you saw from my thumbnail and from my title, this is an Amazon review. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because Peanut is here and she always wants to come in when I'm filming, I guess. But we are gonna do, I've got about 10 or 11 Amazon items to review or to show you guys today. There will be links to these below. Take note that they are affiliated links, so I don't think clicking on them gives me any benefit, but if you were to buy them from my link, I would receive a commission, which would help this channel. So that would be very kind of you if you did that. No obligation, and it doesn't cost you anything to use my link versus the regular links to these products. But let's get started, and then I'll kind of talk about, I'm hoping to start doing these videos once a week. And I know it's not gonna probably be as good as Temu, but for those of you that don't like all the crafting hauls that I do, maybe you'll be interested in these. But all this stuff is from Amazon, and I will tell you which things I was given for free and which things I bought myself. All right, first we'll start out with an item I bought myself. So I got an invite last week to join the Amazon Vine program, which means that I can purchase 3 things a day. And because I'm new, I can't spend more than $100 in a day. I get the items for free, but at the end of the year, they will give me a 1099 with the value of all these items, so I will have to pay taxes on them because this is considered income because I'm getting the value of the product for free. So I think we may have ordered now 4 different times, maybe 5. And Jason and I are both looking at it, so it won't all be stuff for me, but it'll hopefully be kind of a variety of things. Like I've got some clothes coming. I don't have any clothes today because they haven't come yet, but it'll be clothes and jewelry and household items, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we've got to look forward to. All right, so the first item, this is an item that I purchased myself. It's not related to the Vine program, but I've talked about this before, so I thought I'd show you guys because we just got a new box in. I have this on subscription, and these are Coban wraps. Now, Jason emptied this box today to put it where we keep all of our diabetic. He has, his blood sugar is now no longer in the diabetes range because of the Mounjaro, but he still has open wounds because of the diabetes. So this is one of our best friends, right? And so it's a whole box full of this Coban wrap. You can buy Coban wrap at pet stores because it's really good on pets, but it's super expensive, I think, to buy it that way. So this is a really economical way to buy these. And how many come in a box? Do we know? I am going to look these up to tell you what the prices are. Okay, there's 24 that come in this box, and he's already filled that with like other things. So I just grabbed some out of our drawer. They're multicolored. I don't know if they've got one that's all tan or whatever, but we just, because it's on his feet, his socks cover it, so it doesn't really matter what the color is. So you guys have seen this in the doctor's office. It's the stuff that sticks to itself, and we go through these pretty quickly, but they're also really good to have around just as normal first aid, because sometimes Band-Aids don't really work in places that maybe you get a scrape or something, and so we use we'll put gauze. I was gonna say we'd use like triple antibiotic ointment, but people are saying now that that's not very good. So we've got some actual gentamicin cream that is a antibiotic cream that we use if the kids get a scrape or something. We'll put some gauze around it, and then we'll put this around it, and then it takes care of it. I usually only let them leave it on for a day because, you know, your wounds do need to get air so that it can start to scab and stuff. But this is a really good size roll, and you get 24 of them, and we pay, I can't remember if I said this already in this video or in my previous 2 attempts, but I will have links for all of these below. They will be affiliated links, so you clicking on them, I don't think clicking on the affiliated links does anything for me, but if you were to buy the item with my affiliated link, I think I would get a commission, which would help this channel. So thank you in advance if you do that. It doesn't cost you any extra. It doesn't raise the price or anything to use the affiliated link, but it's much appreciated as a way to support this channel. Let me go to my Amazon app. So like I said, we have those on every 2 months we get a box. And of course, if you're using Amazon, you can get them more often or less often. You can adjust your subscription. But let me just go, okay, buy again. If I were gonna buy this again, that 24 pack is $16.86 or 70 cents a roll. So it's a pretty good price. Now I said we also use gauze underneath that, and I brought out the gauze that's my gauze of choice, and I'm gonna link to it, but I've got a caveat, and this is another thing that we buy ourselves. This is the same kind of gauze that Jason's foot doctor uses in their office, okay? And so we found it online. The listing is for 96 rolls. So you get so many boxes of 12. However many boxes of 12 come up to 96 is how many you get in this order. But I don't know if it's my local Amazon warehouse. They keep sending us just one. They're literally opening the box and sending us just one, even though the listing says 96. So we have to keep returning them. But it may just be my specific warehouse that's having a problem with this. So that's why I'm going to still link this product below, because it is my gauze of choice. And they come sealed. Does it say? It says sterile. I think that they used to sell this stuff in a sterile and a non-sterile version. I don't know why, except the non-sterile was probably cheaper. And perhaps I don't know why you'd use gauze that you didn't need to be sterile, as I sit here and open this. But it's a stretchy gauze, and so it wraps really nicely, and it's a really nice width. It's what, 2 by 4? It's 2 inches, and then you get 4 yards of it. So it's just great. So I'm wrapping his feet, which have, you know, ankles and toes and stuff. So it's not a neat cylindrical shape that I'm trying to wrap. And so this, you can like move it around. So if you're looking for a good gauze, you might try this, but just keep in mind, I don't know if it, like I said, if it's just my warehouse that keeps getting it wrong, but I ended up having to take that off of our subscription plan because they just literally couldn't get it right. And I couldn't figure out any way to talk to somebody at Amazon to say, hey, what is going on? Is there a problem with the listing, or is it a problem with the warehouse? So, but let me find how much the 96, I think it's like super cheap, you guys. I mean, okay, it used to be 13 something, but this last time it was only $9.62 for 96 rolls. So that's what, 10 cents a roll? Excellent price. So I don't know, you might give it a try and see what you think. But because we were having problems with that, we ended up switching to this kind, which you can see is a 4-inch roll instead of a 2-inch. So this is not quite as nice to work with, but it's still somewhat stretchy. Let me see if I can find this one to tell you, because it's been a little bit longer ago since we ordered these. Okay, these came in a 90 pack, so similar quantity. And they're also 4 yards, so it's the same length as that one. And it costs, it costs $26, so way different price. But you get, it comes in, I mean, like the, it's a single box, whereas the other ones come in multiple boxes that they've just put together. So let me show you the stretchiness of this. Now this, I end up folding it in half sometimes so that it's the 2 inches. So, and these last a long time. We still have, so we ordered this back in April and we still have probably half of them. So it is also stretchy. It's just bigger. So you can, you know, fold it in half and use it that way. But it's still, if you get gauze at Walmart or Target, it's not stretchy. And if you're really struggling with wounds, you need something that's stretchy. I unfortunately have way too much experience with this. So yeah, I feel like this is a really good product. Jason's the one that found this one. I didn't realize it was as expensive as it is, but a box of gauze from Walmart is pretty expensive in comparison to the quantity and the quality that you get. So I think it's still worth it even at that price. Okay, I'm going to turn my ringer off so we don't keep hearing every time my ring goes off. All right, so we bought all of those things ourselves and continue to buy them because we think they're great products. All right, so next, let's do a Vine item. So this one Jason picked out. This is a kind of magnetic wallet for your phone. It says it's a Maglock card holder. He's already tried this out on the back of his phone. So you need to have, well, actually, I think it comes with one. So I gotta say, I'm very grateful that I don't have to do videos to get these things, but I'm also very grateful now that I have some extra things to show you guys. Okay, so it does come with a mag ring in case your phone case doesn't already have one. Mine does. This is another Amazon product. Okay, here, let's look at this. This is another Amazon product. I really like it because it's stretchy and unlike pop sockets, I can still get the value of the magnet because this whole thing is magnetic, and so I can still stick it on things without that being in the way. And then it's also got a stand to it. Now, I've had one of these before, so this is a repeat purchase. Eventually, the little pin that is holding this together comes loose, and eventually the stand isn't going to work. But honestly, I really don't ever stand up my phone. So, sorry, the ring keeps going off, and I'm always afraid that it's going to be my mom coming over to say that there's a strange man in their house, which will be my dad. So I've got to like pay attention to that. Even though whenever she does that, my dad is walking behind. And so it's, you know, it's not like she's out and about on her own. But, okay. So yeah, I don't really use this, but if you wanted to, you could, but it just, okay, sometimes you do have to do that. But anyway, so my case already has a ring. But yeah, I'll link to this too, just in case, since we're doing Amazon, might as well. All right, so let's take a look at this first. So this goes on to your phone. Well, I don't want to do that yet. I want to show you the other parts of this. So there's a little thing here to make that can be a stand, sort of. I'm not really sure. That's part of the problem when you're demonstrating things that you didn't pick out. But it's got this, so it can use this as a stand, or you can use this as, you know, to attach this. But I'm trying to think. Jason showed me how to use this before he left, but I can't remember, like could you put a key in here? I think you can put something in there to hold it safe. Maybe a coin or something, because it is a wallet. I didn't bring my wallet to show you, but which is not very bright for a review. But anyway, you put your cards in here, and then you can push them up like that. So do I have anything that I can, let's see. Well, you can also, of course, slide things in here if you wanted to, but let me look. It's got the elastic around here so that it can expand. I don't want to chip my nails. That's how vain I am. So, okay, this, you can slide your cards in here, and if I could get this all the way down, if it were solid, then you could push it up when you needed to use it. All right, and then it goes on the back of your phone like this. And it's pretty strong. And then let's see how else that comes with directions, and it shows how you can slide your cards in there. Is this, oh, it's also got, a stand here on the side, which it was a little hard for me to pull that out. So I think it's probably pretty sturdy. And then just make sure I'm not missing any other, oh, I was missing another detail. Let me pull this back off. So you can, when you do this, it's also like that. So why would you use that? I mean, you can have it like this, stand it up. But yeah, I guess if you just wanted it loose as a wallet, you could do that. All right, anything else? So my only other question, which I can't tell from the box or anything, is if it has the RFID protector in it. I don't see anything that says RFID on it, so I guess I would have to assume that it doesn't, but maybe the description says something more about that. But there is that, and that retails for of course it's on my Gauze search still. Okay. I hate the way, I feel like they've changed how Amazon orders looks on your screen. All right, here is the item. It is the Ulanzi brand magnetic wallet with adjustable stand, maglock clip card holder, ultra slim magnetic card case, compatible with iPhone. And it says it can hold 4 cards, and it does say no stick, no RFID blocking. So if that's important to you, this probably isn't for you. If you have Prime, it is a Prime 2-day item, and it is $29.95. All right, next was something I picked out because I thought if I'm going to be paying taxes on these products that I'm getting for free, let's get some stuff that I need and will use. So this is, well, I brought up an example of one that I got in a different package, but it's these foam sleeves is what is in this bag that I'm getting ready to open. So I brought this up to serve as a comparison, just to see. But I figured with shipping things for my Junk for Goats business, there might be times when I would like to have some extra foam padding, especially if I'm just using a mailer, you know, not a bubble wrap mailer, because maybe it doesn't really need a lot of padding, but some. So and this is also a pack of multiple sizes. So like with this, I could wrap this around something and tape it, and that would be great. But it's marketed as a product to put your dishes in, your glassware. Like this one I think might be the right size for stemware. Now, I like having these between my china when it's in storage, but you're not getting a lot of support from this, I don't think. So if you have something fragile that you're using this for, and it's going to go like on a moving truck, or somebody unpredictable is going to be moving the box, this isn't going to keep your stuff from breaking. It's not that level of protection. But for me, who's doing paper, I think it would, you know, maybe keep things from getting creased and whatnot. So in this package, I'm trying to see if I can, okay, well, it's got a lot of like packing tape around it, so I can't just tear it. So we saw the first size. Then we've got this size, which would be perfect for plates. Now I have melamine, is that what it's called? I don't think that's right, but maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, this would work great for these. But here's a size comparison. So this one is a little softer than this one. This one definitely feels more like styrofoam. This one that I got feels just a little bit thicker than this one, but these things are probably all the same, right? So, okay, so we have these two sizes. Is there another size? Let me look at the listing so I can tell you more. Okay. It's a 60 pack of foam pouches in 3 different sizes. Plus you get 60 fragile stickers. Let me see if I can figure out where the 3rd size is. Oh, maybe right here. All right, oh, so super tiny. So there we have them all for comparison's sake. And yeah, I think these will work great for what I'm wanting to use them for. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then the fragile stickers that I don't think anybody would ever pay attention to. I mean, does anybody pay attention to this when they're moving stuff? No, because they have to move so much stuff and they have so little time. But you do get a sticker per pouch. Now, I will probably still use these stickers. I don't think in today's day and age, I don't think people don't have time to be as careful as they might want to be. All right, so this was 60 pack cushion foam pouches in 3 different sizes, foam wrap pouches with 60 fragile stickers, packing supplies for dishes, glasses, plates, moving, and storage. And it was $14.49. And you could subscribe to it if you wanted to. But yeah, so I will enjoy using that for some of my shipments, because some of them could use the extra padding, especially if it's a multi-piece order kind of thing. All right, and then since we're talking about my business, I also got these kind of business cards, but they are bigger. I should have brought a business card. They are bigger. They're taller than standard American size business cards. This is a pack of 100. And I thought, well, okay, you can't see that because of the sticker. Hold on. So yeah, when I'm doing the reviews on Vine, you know, you can't say, oh, it was fine, oh, it was okay. They want you to be specific. Otherwise, I'm sure they'll kick me out of the program. But it's nice to know that sales are not required to be in this program, because that was my downfall with Temu. When I was in their influencer program, I was not getting any sales. So they canned me. So hopefully Amazon won't can me. So they look like this on the front, and they look like this on the back. Really nice. So if you were to order from me, you would get a postcard that I've printed with my thank you on it that also includes a printable on the back to advertise that I sell digitals. So that comes in all of my thank you freebie packs that go out with my orders. But this would be nice for me to just write a little note to the person a personalized note to the person that ordered to stick in with this. And then, I mean, heck, they could use this in their own crafting, or they could, you know, cover up what I write and use the back for something. But yeah, they're really nice cards, and they don't easily bend, so they're not thin, and they're coated, which is nice. So yeah, this is a nice pack. And like I said, they are bigger. They're taller, at least, than a standard business card. So I was happy to have that as a option to get. And those, sorry, Peanut whenever she comes up here, her fur just goes everywhere. And then I feel like it's all in my nose and ugh. All right. Thank you card for your support. Small business customer packaging insert, retail pink floral pack of 100. And it is $8.99. And this shop has a deal where if you get 2 of their items in their shop, you can save 5%. So, so that's that item. Now, this item that I ordered, they sent the wrong item. The zebra sticker or whatever, the UPC sticker, whatever, the item sticker matches the thing that I ordered, but I ordered what was called a night light version of this, and they sent me the normal. So I didn't know how does this work? You know, you get something on this Vine program that you're supposed to review, but if it's not the thing that you ordered, what are you supposed to do? So I contacted customer support and they said, you just tell us, and they took it off of my program dashboard so that I didn't have to review it, and it won't be added to my 1099 for tax purposes. So ultimately I ended up getting this completely for free. No review required or anything. So these, they're still really cute. They're just not the ones I ordered. But it is a pack of Halloween cards, mason jar style. Now what I thought was weird about this was it's open packaging. So I don't know why maybe it's split in shipping, but this would be a mess if it potentially would be a mess the way they've shipped it. But let me take these out and I'll show you what the ones I ordered look like. So these are kind of like the solid color, more traditional kind of designs. You get several of each. I think it's 48. Is it 48? No, it says 50. Okay, it's 50. So there's 8 different designs in this set, but they've got punch outs. I don't know if you could see that down there. So a couple of these would have one more than the others, but they're cute. They're just not the ones that I ordered. So anyway, since I don't ever do Halloween stuff, let's make this my thumbnail, right? Because maybe people will like to see some Halloween stuff from this channel. This is not going to be a good thumbnail. All right, so anyway, they are plain on the back. It is a pretty thick cardstock with the exception of the punch out. And then of course, it's got the 2 in the from. My kids' schools don't, I mean, it's not Valentine's Day is the only time that really the kids even consider like giving this kind of stuff. But I guess you could put this with, okay, well, I'm also not the kind of person that has my light on for Halloween. I don't pass out candy, none of that stuff. But this would, of course, the whole purpose of this kit is they give you this, and then they give you the bags to put your candy in to go with this. So then it's a really cool, you'd be like, unless, yeah, you can't fit a full-size candy bar. I feel like the people that give out the full-size candy bars are the winners of the that's what the kids want, right? But I don't know, maybe the kids would like this. But why did I get it? Well, I got it to use with my junk journaling crafting stuff because I thought these would be cute as a journaling card in a journal. So that's why I got them. And the fact that it came with all these bags that I can use to put items that I'm selling in is a bonus. So if I had to have reviewed this item, I would have said an alternative way to use this, like I'm going to, is, you know, in my junk journaling business, because I did do one review already, and I put in there my alternative usage for it. Okay, so let's just see what that cost, and then I'll show you what the ones I was supposed to get look like. Okay. 50-piece set Halloween mason jar greeting cards with 50 Halloween treat bags, party favors. Now I ordered the ones that were nightlight, so there were only 6 designs of those instead of 8. But here, let me real quick. The ring just keeps going off and on. I am going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, so the ones I was trying to get look like this. See, way more fun. And they were supposed to have little lights in them. I don't know how that was supposed to work. It's not like they would have had a little battery, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it would have just been a reflective plastic or something. But that's what I was trying to get, or what I ordered. I just didn't receive that one. I received the normal. Both sets are $11.99. Oh, and apparently there was a 5% off coupon applied to this, but that part doesn't affect me. So like all of these things that I order through the Amazon Vine, they show up in my regular orders with everything else. There's just a separate dashboard where I can see the things that were specifically for this, so that I can see how many things I haven't reviewed yet, all that stuff. All right. Next, now this is that one item I have reviewed already. Don't laugh because it's kind of ridiculous, but I ordered some they're repair tags. Now, when I did my review, they come in this bag like this, only they were like sideways actually. And because they're not all on top of each other, they were bent up and banged up and everything, which didn't matter for me. Probably wouldn't matter even for people buying this for its intended purpose, but just something I noted. They do come with these wires, which I was not strong enough to straighten this out. That's how strong they are, even though they're kind of tiny wires. But one of them by itself is, you know, not anything. So the idea is you take the tag. It does come in a resealable bag, which is nice. But you take the tag. It's got an eyelet, which is also nice. And then you would twist this onto it, right? So that's how you would use it. My daughter, who ripped this because she didn't realize it was already open, she's like, well, it's got a tear thing. I'm like, it's only food usually is like that. But you see how I am? I'm so anal that I can't help myself. But she came up and she just randomly asked me if I had any wire yesterday. And I was like, well, actually, I've got this wire. She's like, that's perfect, because she wanted to make a spider for her boyfriend. So, okay. So the wire is great for lots of uses. And the other thing about this is it has a perforated part that you would tear off and give, you know, part to the customer, and you keep it with the item that needs repaired. But you guys, I got this again for junk journaling, because I'm like, oh, a journaling card and a ticket. So that's why I got it. And there's 100 of them in here, so it'll last me a while. The other thing with Vine products is you're not allowed to sell them, or at least you're not allowed to sell them within 6 months. So it's not like you can just take this and resell it kind of thing. So I'm going to actually use these things. But then I think you are allowed to dispose of them whenever you want, which I thought was weird. But yeah, they pretty much don't want to be giving you free stuff that you're going to turn right around and sell in your own Amazon store. Well, I don't have an Amazon store, so that doesn't really matter for me, but yeah, that's one of the rules. So these repair tags, 100 pack red repair tags with wire rope service repair tags, numbered with wire, durable, 2.6 by 5.25 inches. I did note in my review that they are not waterproof, in case that matters, but probably wouldn't matter for this kind of thing. And okay, you could get, and I had this choice too when I was picking. I could either get 100 for $9.99, or I could get 200 for $21.99, but I went for the 100 for $9.99 because $9.99 times 2 is less than $21.99 for 200. So they don't have their value ladder set up right, price ladder set up right for those. But yeah, so $9.99 is what I paid, or the value of that item. All right, this next item I bought myself. It is, they're supposed to be sanders, but are they? They don't look, let's see. So here's my ink thing, and this, I'm gonna get ink all over my fingers now, but this part comes off, and okay, here are the, so it must have come with both. I wanted sanding discs so that I could, yeah, so they're sandpaper. So let me get one of these tags back out, because you know, if you're trying to age things, okay, so it goes right on there just like that, and then you can, you know, like if I wanted to make this seem older than it really is, see what I mean? So it's just another way, or if maybe you have something that's kind of glossy, that you don't really like the glossiness, you can kind of, I'll just age it or give it rough texture on the edges. So it looks like it came with, oh, there's a lot, 20 of these little pieces, and so I think those will last for a while. But then it also came with 2 more of these and 2 more ink things, although these are like rounded, nice, probably quality ink. They're more like sponges. And this, I like the flatness, the flat one. So I don't know if I'll end up using this part, but yeah. Now, like with these, I should have them labeled, but I've got one of these to go with each of my Tim Holtz Distress ink. But that's just it's a nifty tool, and this was a good set because it came with like everything. but I'm really happy to have the, I mean, obviously it's way cheaper to just buy a piece of sandpaper. They probably sell that at the Dollar Tree, but I like the extra control you can get with having it on this. And I feel like there would be less scraping on the skin because of that. So let's see if I can find those. I've had those for a little while. But yeah, so how are you guys doing? I'm getting so burnt out with work and I can't talk about it, and it's driving me nuts. So just say a prayer for me. It's just, there's just a lot of pressure right now, and I need these moments with you to relieve that pressure. All right, this was a 26-piece set. You got 2 pieces of mini ink blending tool. You got 4 pieces of the domed foams and 20 pieces of the sanding discs. And they say it's great for, or the ideal friction to work on cardstock, chipboard, and wood. And it was only $8.99. And once again, I'm gonna link to all these products. They will be affiliated links. Thank you for supporting my channel if you click on any of those. All right, next, Jason picked this item out. It is a challenge coin from for the Army. It does come in a protective case, which you can get it out, but I am not going to try to do that because I don't want to accidentally crack it. It's meant, well, it's a challenge coin, so it's not really meant to be, but it's a collector's item, so maybe. But anyway, this, if you didn't know, is the, well, you probably know we're a year off from the 250th anniversary of the country, right? Well, the Army, as you might imagine, okay, I'm getting a Charlie horse in my foot. The Army started a year before our Declaration of Independence, and so this is the year. So I was born in the 200th anniversary of the Army, but this says United States of America Minutemen, Army established 1776. And Jason said that it was way more detailed than he expected it to be. And then on the back, it says U.S. Army, and we will defend it 1775 to 2025, 250th anniversary. And so you're probably all familiar with challenge coins. They use them in football games, right? And it's just an elaborate quarter, much bigger than a quarter, but you know, heads and tails. It's basically what we're doing here, but with a nice case. So Jason's dad was in the Army, so he got that kind of as a remembrance item for him. And it has a retail value of $13.99. 250th anniversary U.S. Army challenge coin, double-sided zinc alloy coin, high relief gold-plated design with Minutemen and E Pluribus Unum. Patriotic veteran gift. So yeah, if you have a veteran in your life, they might appreciate that. And if the Army was not their thing, you can get one for the Marines because it was also their 250th. And then I can't tell if, oh, there's one just for veterans, regardless of what service they were with. So yeah, there's a bunch out there. Oh, the Navy, of course. So I had one on my side of the family, I had one grandfather that was in the Navy and one that was a Marine. So nice. All right. Next, this was another Jason item. He looked in the games section and he picked out Tic Tac Toe Robot, which is basically a Tic Tac Toe game on the go, but it does require batteries, I believe, and it had a screw holding the battery, or the, you know, I didn't have a screwdriver, and so I don't have batteries in to show it in action. But it looks like this, and there's the back, and then these are raised. The lines are raised. I don't know that that's important. Not. It does come with instructions. Is it really just tic-tac-toe? It looks like it's really just tic-tac-toe. So if you've got small kids, this might be a great car game or something for them. But not suitable for children under 36 months due to small parts. So right now, because we're new, so in the Vine program, when you go in, there are 3 different places where you can find items. One place is recommended for you, which I guess maybe they look at our previous purchase history to see which items they think, or maybe it's demographically which items they think we would like. And then there's another section which is available for all, which are still more coveted items maybe. And then there's just an other section. Well, the first several days we only had other options, which is where most of this stuff came from. I don't think I've shown you anything today that came from the recommended for you, because that's where the clothes have been coming from, and there's just still not very many items in that for us yet. And I think it'll get more as we get deeper into the program. I don't know, but I can't remember if I'm like silver tier, which is the $100 a day, and then gold tier, like there's no limit to, it's still 3 items, I think. It's either 3 or 6. Like, you guys, I could get, if I ever get to that level, can you imagine what my 1099 would look like at the end of the year? Like I don't know how people would afford to do that. So yeah, so I'm hoping that a little bit of these videos will help me earn my YouTube paycheck, which I guess will pay for the taxes on that. I don't know. Technically, Temu probably should be giving us 1099s. Do they? I don't know. For those of us that, although it's kind of hard, like I didn't ever get free, like I didn't ever do their influencer program the way where you pick out specific things in their section. I just always was given credit that I could use to buy whatever. So, but that was always mixed in with my own money. So I don't know how they would do the 1099 part, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see if I end up, you know, owing a bunch of money at the end of the year because I did this. Obviously, I'm not going to continue doing this, but that's also why, well, we didn't need a tic-tac-toe game, but why I'm trying to buy things that we will use. All right, now the last item that I have, there in the other section, there is a bazillion ink cartridges. And so I found ink from my ink tank printer, which I'm also going to link below because it is a phenomenal printer. Now I bought my, let's see if I can tell you how long ago I bought my ink tank printer. And what's an ink tank printer? It is, instead of having a print cartridge, you get bottles of ink that you pour into these reservoirs, and they last for so long. So, okay, back. Search orders. Let's look for a printer. Okay, I bought my ink tank printer on October 28th, 2023. So we're getting close to, having it for 2 years. I have not yet replaced the ink or refilled the ink yet. There's black and then there's the 3 colors. When I ordered this printer, I also ordered refills. So you can see here, these are the name brand refills. Now this one I think is actually the one that came with the machine initially. But I have a box also of a black. So I've not had to open any of these others, but let's open this one because this one's a little bit smaller in size, I believe. And then we can compare it to what I got through the Vine program. But you guys, I've printed so many things. I mean, all of my printables. So here's the size of the other one, the colors. Like this is a pretty big stack, right? And it's a full page. Like here are pages from my new library days kit that just went live on my coffee shop last week. So let me do some shameless plugging for that. So it's got some bookmarks, some tags. But see, I mean, these are all printed with this ink tank. I mean, look at this. Like well, I'm partial, but I think it's beautiful. But it's great quality. It's a great printer. It's great quality inking. And this is just things I've printed in the last week, right? I've used my printer, my kids have used my printer, everything, and this ink lasts forever. So did I really need this one? No, but heck, I will probably never have to buy ink again. So I found this. It said it was good for my particular printer, but they've also got, I mean, obviously you can buy any ink cartridges on Amazon, but the Vine program seems to have a lot of ink. And I guess I should say, what's the purpose of the Vine program? So sellers put their, I don't know if they pick so many of their items that they're new items that are like just coming out, and they want real reviews. So like, I'm not supposed to pull any punches when I do my reviews. If it's a crappy product, I should say it's a crappy product. But these sellers put their products into this program if they want to get free reviews. It's kind of similar. I mean, like I haven't gotten any since the tariff stuff has happened, but I used to get emails from people saying, hey, if I send you my product from Amazon, would you review it? So it's kind of like that, except this is a more standardized way to do it, I guess. And the seller doesn't have to deal with people like me. Amazon takes care of all that. But anyway, this was coming with a black and all 3 colors. And so here compared, so same size. I'm not going to open this because it is vacuum sealed, which will protect the ink till I'm ready to use it. But heck yeah, I mean, I keep thinking I'm going to run out of ink soon, because I also don't know, since I haven't had to do it yet, when I finally do have to replace the blue, for example, I don't know if the whole bottle if it takes the whole bottle to fill the reservoir or not. The black, it didn't, but the black is a bigger size because you use it more. So my guess is that once I finally do have to replace some ink, it's going to take the whole bottle. So I was kidding earlier when I said, oh, I'll never have to buy ink again. I'm sure I will, but yeah, I know some of you have mentioned that, you know, you don't have a color printer. The ink tank, just so you know, when I bought it, well, I probably can't tell you what I paid, but it's currently $179.99. I'm pretty sure I paid more than that. Actually, it looks like it was originally $259.99, but it's either on sale right now or something for $179.99. So, and it is something you can put on a payment plan. But yeah, there's a lot of ink tank style printers out there by different brands. Mine is at HP and I love it. It is also an all-in-one machine, so it does scan and copy, but I've not ever used those features. I really just bought it to print. And I have. So, okay, so this, well, let's just see. So the ink, okay, well, first off, this ink that we just got has a value of $19.99. And then if I look through my history to see what I paid for the name brand ink, the blue bottle that I showed you earlier, it is $21.89 by itself. So that's one good thing about ink. Like, how different can it be? So yeah, okay, well, that brings us to the end of the items for this video. So let's do a little, I'm like looking around, making sure there's not anything else I plan to show you guys. I don't see anything. So let's do a little nostalgic TV trivia. But yeah, this is a new thing for me. I'm hoping that it'll help recoup some of the losses that this channel's had by losing viewers with Temu. I hope it helps. That's all I can say. I'm like, I want to keep doing these, and I want to keep doing my crafting stuff. So hopefully this just helps, you know, make it all happen. All right, nostalgic TV trivia time. Who was always after BJ and the bear? Name the neighbor Dennis the Menace often annoyed. Nellie Bell was the name of Pat Brady's Jeep on what series? For what major department store chain does Arnold Palmer advertise? Who was the moderator of Critic at Large? Who teamed up with Johnny Carson to compose Johnny's theme? Who portrayed Lance White on The Rockford Files? In the early days of television, what comic was called Mr. Television? I don't think I know any of these, you guys. Who was always after BJ and the Bear? Smokey and the Bandit? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Name the neighbor Dennis the Menace often annoyed. Mr. Somebody. Like, I think maybe I never watched the cartoon. It was in the newspaper too. I didn't read that comic in the newspaper. I probably saw the movie once. So I don't know. Nellie Bell was the name of Pat Brady's Jeep on what series? Well, heck if I know that either. So I'm going to just jump out. I don't know who Pat Brady is, let alone his Jeep, but I've told you guys multiple times, I've never watched Petticoat Junction, so I'm just going to say Petticoat Junction, because why not? For what major department store chain does Arnold Palmer advertise? Well, this is from the 80s. I could theoretically guess and get this right, but I'm just going to say Macy's. But, you know, Sears would have been around then. JCPenney's was a bigger player back then. I don't know what other department stores, because we have department stores around here like Famous Bar, Sticks, Bear, and Fuller. Anybody remember them? But I know they've got more, you know, on the coasts. Barney's, which I only know because of Will and Grace. Saks Fifth Avenue. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. But I said Macy's was my answer. Who was the moderator of Critic at Large? Siskel Ebert. Wait. Is it Siskel and Ebert? Probably. Let's just say it's one of them. Who teamed up with Johnny Carson to compose Johnny's theme? For some reason, I've got Doc Severinsen in my head, but I don't even know if he was a musician. But that's what my answer is. Who portrayed Lance White on the Rockford Files? The only person I know from the Rockford Files was James Garner. So I don't know anybody else. In the early days of television, what comic was called Mr. Television? I want to say Bob Hope. But my backup guess would be like a Jack Benny or a Red Skelton. All right, let's see if I squeaked by with anything here. Who was always after BJ and the bear? Sheriff Lobo. Name the neighbor Dennis the Menace often annoyed. Mr. Wilson. Do I get half a point because I said Mr.? Nellie Bell was the name of Pat Brady's Jeep on what series? Roy Rogers. Well, of course. For what major department store chain does Arnold Palmer advertise? Sears. Who was the moderator of Critic at Large? John Mason Brown. I don't know who that is. Who teamed up with Johnny Carson to compose Johnny's theme? Paul Anka. Who portrayed Lance White on the Rockford Files? Tom Selleck. Oh, I didn't know he was on there. Aw. And in the early days of television, what comic was called Mr. Television? Did you guess it right? It is Milton Berle. You guys, I got 0, zip, zilch, nada. Hope you did better. Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. I appreciate it. I'm just a tiny little channel, but I appreciate all the love. And another shameless plug, please subscribe. If you already are subscribed, double check. I even heard Max versus Food, who I've started watching, even heard him say that, you know, that sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people. So make sure you're still subscribed if you were before. But thank you. Thank you for the views, the likes, all the good stuff. And let me say a quick thank you to my members. I appreciate everybody, including them. And we've got thank you to Julie and KT and Favorites with Laura and Darlene and Hey Everybody and Pam. Thank you so much, ladies. And I think that's it. So stay tuned. Be sure to click that bell so you see when I have a new video coming out. I'm going to be filming another video yet tonight for another kind of restore haul and a antique booth haul. So head back. But yeah, let me know if you like this Amazon one. I don't know how, you know, the stuff on Amazon's not as cheap as the stuff on Temu, so maybe it won't be as interesting, but hopefully it was a good break from the crafty goodness that we like to celebrate on this channel. So anyway, thank you so much, and wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day, and until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.